Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to be learning types of triangles. So you might be wondering, what is a triangle? I'm sure all of you guys have seen a triangle in class or a diagram, and we can see a couple of triangles down below, but we want to know what the exact math definition of a triangle is. So Alicia, will you help me read that first sentence on the slide, please?
So a triangle has 3 sides, 3 vertices, and 3 angles.
Perfect. So if we look at this triangle down below, we can see that there's 3 sides, 3 vertices, which means points, and 3 angles. So where the sides and the points meet. So we have 3. And Madeline, will you read that second sentence on the slide for me?
Yeah, the sum of the 3 interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees.
Perfect. So that means all 3 angles, so 1, 2, 3, are going to add up to 180 degrees. So not less and not more than 180 degrees. So can everybody call out, what do the 3 angles of a triangle add up to?
180 degrees.
180 degrees.
Perfect. Thank you. And I will be sure to remind you guys and ask that same question throughout the lesson today. So you really understand and remember that one triangle always has the sum of its angles to be 180 degrees. So there's also different types of triangles, and you may have seen in the previous slide that there were a lot of different types of triangles. The first way we're going to differentiate between these triangles is by side. So Alicia, will you help me read that first type of triangle for me?
Equilateral triangles have 3 equal sides.
Perfect. That means that all 3 of these sides here are going to be the same length. And Madeline, will you help me read the second triangle type?
Yep. An isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides.
Perfect. And this should actually say an isosceles triangle has at least 2 equal sides. So this means that these 2 sides must be equal, but it also means that an equilateral triangle can actually be a type of isosceles triangle, but an isosceles triangle cannot be an equilateral triangle. And does anybody know why that is? Can I have a brave volunteer, please? No responses? That's okay. Well, this is because equilateral triangles must have 3 equal sides, but an isosceles triangle can just have 2 equal sides, which means that if you don't have 3 equal sides in an isosceles triangle, it cannot be an equilateral triangle. But an isosceles triangle just has to have at least 2 equal sides. So because an equilateral triangle has 3, it meets the requirements of an isosceles triangle.
Makes sense.
A special triangle called the scalene triangle that has no equal sides at all. And you can see in the third picture that all 3 of the side lengths are going to be different. And if you saw the equilateral and isosceles triangles, these dashed lines means that the sides are the congruent or the same. So we see in the isosceles triangle, we have 2 sets of dashed lines. In the equilateral triangle, we have 3 sets of dashed lines. And the scalene triangle, because we have no equal sides, we have no dashed lines. All right, we're also going to be classifying triangles by angle. So Alicia, will you help me read that first type of triangle for me?
Yeah, acute triangles have 3 sides that are less than 90 degrees, or 3 angles that are less than 90 degrees.
Perfect. Exactly. So every single angle that we see here, 1, 2, 3, must be less than 90 degrees. And Madeline, will you read the second type of triangle for me?
Sure. A right triangle has 1 angle that is equal to 90 degrees.
Perfect. And if we see this little square in the corner of this diagram here, this square means that this triangle equals 90 degrees. So if you see a triangle that looks like it's a right triangle and it has these 2 lines, if it doesn't have this box down here, that means it's not equal to 90 degrees, and we know that it's not a right triangle. And the last one is the obtuse triangle, where one angle is going to be greater than 90 degrees. And class, Again, what does the sum of all three angles in a triangle add up to?
180
degrees.
Perfect. So that means that since the right and obtuse triangles both have an angle that's either equal to or greater than 90 degrees, that means the other two angles must be less than 90 degrees, because if we have 90 plus 90 plus 90, that would be greater than 180 degrees. So we need all of them to be less than 90 degrees. All right, let's do a quick temperature check. So just to see how you guys are understanding the material so far, I want you guys to raise your fingers 1 through 5 to show me how well you understand the material. So 1 is I'm totally lost, I don't understand the topic at all, and 5 is I'm so confident I understand the material 100%. Wow, 5s all around. Good job, guys. So check your understanding just to make sure we really do have those 5s. I'm going to do a little call and response. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say a type of triangle, let's say right triangle, and then I'm going to raise my hands like this, and then you guys are going to call out at the same time 90 degrees, or if I say acute triangle, you'll say less than 90, or if I say scalene triangle, you'll say all three sides are different. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if you understand. Perfect. Okay. Equilateral triangle.
All sides are the same.
equal.
Acute triangle.
Less than 90 degrees.
Right triangle.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be
90 degrees.
a lot of energy, all right? So I know it's early in the morning, but we've got to get this down because this is super important for our future lessons. So let's try that again. Right triangle.
90 degrees.
Obtuse triangle.
Greater than 90 degrees.
Acute triangle.
Less than
Less
90
than 90.
Obtuse triangle.
Greater than
Greater
90
than
degrees.
90.
Right triangle.
One
90.
angle is 90.
Scalene triangle.
All sides are
All
different.
sides are different.
Equilateral triangle.
All sides are the
They're
same.
equal.
Isosceles triangle.
Two sides are
At
equal.
least two sides are the same.
Yes. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys for participating. I know it was early, but everyone participated, so that was great to hear. Be sure to do your homework for tomorrow. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to stay after class or email me.